Child brides, polygamy, abuse, and humiliation. Tonight's Inside Story sounds like something straight out of a dark and twisted movie, yet it's centered right here in Ontario, in the idyllic farmland outside Owen Sound. Avery?
Well, the OPP is now investigating a litany of allegations that are almost too grotesque to bear. A former church wife is on a mission to shut down the church she says has for decades been brainwashing, abusing, and enslaving its followers.
My life is so good now. I'm happily married to John, but I have my difficult days. I have my nightmares.
The demons that plague Carol Christie in sleep can't compete with the evil that was done to her while awake.
You were in total fear all the time. You would think in fear, speak in fear, and all your actions were done in fear.
Carol now lives just a short drive away from this compound in sleepy farmland outside Owen Sound. This, she says, is a house of horrors.
I would go to bed at night and I would pray to God, please take me in my sleep, because I didn't know how to exist.
Carol's story begins some 40 years ago when her own mother, a religious fanatic with a fundamental Mormon sect, told her about her calling.
I was devastated. It was revolting to me. I did not want this.
This was to marry the charismatic cult leader who called himself the prophet.
I was barely 17 when I heard this.
And how old was he?
Twice my age.
Carol is forced to live here, a farm in Sauble Beach, where she shares the king-size bed with the prophet, his only legal wife, and eventually a total of 7 other church wives.
His 2 youngest wives were around 10 or 11 when they became his wife. You did whatever it took to make the prophet happy.
Carol, almost completely shut off from the outside world, has 2 sons with the prophet. First James, and then a year and a half later, Marcus.
My 2 little miracles, I just adored them, and that they got me through life. They got me through life.
In 1986, the prophet died of a stroke. His son from his legal wife inherited the church and his dad's wives, including Carol.
Things went from bad to worse and were just absolutely insane.
All-night services, beatings, humiliation, brainwashing with the threat of eternal damnation. And if you dared leave,
he would say, if you leave, I will hunt you down and kill you.
Carol says she lived for years under virtual house arrest. She plotted an escape with her grown-up sons. In 2007, her eldest said, it's time.
I said to him, stay a while longer and all 3 of us will leave.
But her youngest, Marcus, was too scared to leave, so Carol stayed behind with him.
After my son left, the beatings just got worse.
For 1 year, Carol says, she endured the wrath of the prophet's son.
I was black and blue from head to toe, and I didn't think I would survive.
With little left to lose, Carol calls her eldest son and begs him to rescue her. Her youngest begs her to stay.
He cried and he begged me not to go, and he said, I want to go, Mom, but I can't. I'm too afraid I'll go to hell.
You left one son behind.
Oh, it's like it's more than I can bear to think he's still there.
These allegations have not been proven, but the OPP issued this release to the Inside Story, confirming they are actively investigating the church and that appropriate charges will be brought forward if warranted.
There's underage children there. What about them? It keeps me awake at night. I fear that something terrible will happen.
Now, the Inside Story did contact the Church of Jesus Christ Restored to get their side of the story. Our calls were not returned. Again, the OPP and Children's Aid Society are both actively investigating the church.
Again, these are just allegations, but there have been others, though, as well, haven't there?
Well, yeah, these are allegations. Nothing's been proven in court, but 6 former members of this church did file a lawsuit against the church, and it was settled out of court for reportedly millions of dollars, but the church has not been officially charged criminally by police. But again, that investigation is ongoing.
Okay. Avery, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can reach out to Avery on Twitter at CityAvery. The Inside Story, of course, runs every Tuesday and Thursday, and all segments are up on our website, citynews.ca.